This is not meant to be in a Z. Hey guys, what is up and welcome to another video. We are in the car right now and we are heading to some event hall here in Yokohama where the Nostalgic Days event is. Now, if you watch previous videos from last year, I'm gonna hand the camera to the wife because the light just went green. But if you were watching last year's video for the Nostalgic Days meet, it was insane. Classic cars everywhere. I called a whole bunch of cars things that they weren't because I had no idea what they were. And people were all like raging at me in the comments, which was kind of funny. I don't blame them. But yeah, things that you're gonna see today. Insane Hakos cars, insane like 240Zs and old L series engines with the OS Gaiken twin cam heads on them and just crazy rare things, 2000 GTs, Mazda Cosmos, like it's gonna be amazing. And what else is gonna be cool is Alexi's gonna be there. I was just messaging him yesterday. We're gonna catch up. Steve POV is gonna be there as well. It'd be good to catch up with him. It's just gonna kind of be this like YouTuber Japan's kind of hangout session. But anyways, it's gonna be a rad day. I've got the wife with me as well. And yeah, I'm just super excited because cool cars and all that jazz. What does suck though is I have a night shift tonight, a 10-hour night shift from 9 p.m. to like 8 a.m. So it's gonna be brutal. So I'm only planning to go for a few hours, show you guys around, make an awesome video, hang out with my YouTuber buddies, and then go home, sleep for a few hours, and then go to work and kill myself. So it's gonna be a fun, like 48 hours. Anyways, let's bring you guys along for the ride, shall we? So we were just parking the car in this underground car park and I came across this WRX STI. The Doctor? What? Is that a TJ Hunt reference? I have no idea. But this is definitely one cool WRX. It's got like the WRC Rally carbon fiber wing. It's pretty cool. I wonder if a foreigner owns this. It's got the STI mud flaps as well. It's kind of cool. All right, guys, here we are. The Nostalgic Days event. Just walking in and straight away, Hakoska right there. Oh, it's for sale, but you got to ask them for the price. Oh, it's got one of those twin cam heads, triple carbed, those headers. Okay. This is going to be a dangerous place. This guy's camera shooting pose though. Oh man. There's a Ken Mary here. Same twin cam headers, triple carb. So cool. All right, before I get too carried away, we're gonna go kind of walk around, see if we can find Steve POV and maybe Alexi. And then we might do some filming. I kind of also want to get my, oh, look at the Hachiroku, babe. I think this one was at, yeah, this was one of the ones that was at Auto Salon. This place, oh, it's so much better this year than last. Oh, there's a Cosmo there. Okay, yeah, like I said, before I get carried away, I'm gonna walk around, check everything out, work out where everything is, and then we'll do a quick walkthrough of everything all in one. See if we can do that. Okay, you know what, I'm just gonna show you this other Hakoska real quick before I get too carried away. So cool. And most people know this, but in Japan they're called the S30Z, but they're commonly known as the 240Z, like in Australia and the US. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna do my walk around now and find the wife because I've already lost her. All right, guys, so I just finished kind of doing my networking stuff and chatting with people and business things, and I'm ready to now walk through the entire venue and show you guys everything I can. I think this is like the original Mad Max car that was at Auto Salon, but I really don't know. Anyways, we're gonna start in this corner. There's already a few cars that I don't know, so just tell me in the comment section. I really want to learn a lot of these old classic cars. Like this to me looks like an American muscle car, but it has the Toyota Crown Super Deluxe badge on it. So, you know, this is the thing that like I struggle with. These old classic cars, I really don't know what they are. So if you guys know, let me know. This looks like an old Honda Prelude to me. Obviously the Honda NSX, and this thing looks awesome. It's got like this midnight blue kind of purple paint job. Some nice shiny wheels. This is actually kind of cool. These old Tarago vans actually, they were really common back in the old days here in Japan, like in the 90s and things. And obviously he's running some really cool wheels there. And over in this side are these rare dome cars. Now, May's trying to stay out of shot. And these, I don't know too much information about them. I want to research this later. But from what I understand is it was very difficult for the company that manufactured these to get these like legalized and any government to approve them or something like that. But they also look like those really old school Lamborghinis to me as well. So that's kind of cool. The diameter of these wheels is tiny though. They're like 14, 15 inch. So really small cars, something I definitely could never fit in. So it's really cool to see these here. I'll do some research on them later. There's this old Datsun kind of jacked up car. And this is like, oh, I love the 400R. Like this GTR, the 33 GTR, I'd totally own one of these and I'd drive the hell out of it and time attack it and just, I can't even find the words to describe how much I love the 400R. Obviously we then got a Hakosuka here. And it's got some pretty cool original badges. The Skyline GTR Owners Club. It's got some fat tires on there too. Everything is immaculate in the interior. So from here, I want to move over to here, this section, because there is some really cool stuff to show you and some crazy engine swaps up there. Starting off here, we've obviously got a Fairlady Z, typically known as a 240Z or the S30Z here in Japan. And this one looks like an L28, most likely going to be stroked out to 3 liters, running triple carbs, funnels, and all that jazz. And it just looks amazing. So clean and pretty. I don't know if the word pretty is a good word to use to describe a car, but you guys know what I mean. Like, it just looks incredible. And the interior is just so nice. That's another cool thing about this event that I'll show you guys a little bit, is they sell a lot of parts here that you can use for restoring your cars. Hey, shout out to Link ECU. They're using a Link Storm to run this engine because he's running injectors, obviously, and individual throttle bodies. It's really cool. And here they've got like a shell of a Hakosuka and everything here with AP racing brakes and just showing everything that they're working on with it. They've got the twin cam head on this L series engine. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought OS Gaiken were the only guys that made the twin cam head. So I see a lot of these covers, valve covers with Nissan 2000 written on them. So I wonder if Nissan brought something out in the racing department that I don't know about or something. So I'll do some research about that later, but these headers look so cool. It's good to see. Love the L series engine and when they did stuff like that. And this thing looks awesome with some old school bride seats in there, and body looks incredible. This car's going to look amazing when they finish with it. Oh, they're using electric power steering as well. It's really cool. And May's filming a whole bunch. We got another Z here. Same deal, L series motor, triple carb with funnels. Once again, amazing interior. It's running a Nismo shifter. There's a button on the shift knob. I wonder if that's for the NOS. I don't see any NOS anywhere, but looks cool. Now this is amazing. Now I think this was here last year when I was here, but it's an L series swapped S14. めっちゃかっこいい。かっこいい。かっこいい。かっこいい。そうそうそう。L シリーズエンジンでしょ。そうです。28? So it's a L28, and it's running the triple carbs with the funnels and some custom headers down there. The whole bay has been completely shaved. He's got tubs in there. Looks absolutely amazing. Like, the attention to detail that they've gone in this build is just incredible. And I'd totally run this. This looks so unique and amazing. And the thing is slammed as well. So cool. All right, now another really cool Z here with an engine swap. Because obviously you can see this, and this is not meant to be in a Z, but I argue with that because this is a really cool swap and a really cool idea. S2K engine with a HKS supercharger kit. This thing must handle really cool. I'd love to experience what this thing drives like. And it fits in there so nice. Like, it's tight up in the back there, and I can imagine like the hood would be kind of tight. But there's no modification there, so it looks like a really clean swap. This is totally something I'd be cool with. And he's running ABS as well. So I wonder what brake kit he's running in this. He must have like maybe swapped the entire drive chain or something. Looks so good. Yeah, he's running calipers front and rear. The interior is all redone and clean. Wait, isn't that an S2000 dash? Oh my gosh. He really went the extra mile. That explains why he's got like the ABS and everything in there. He swapped everything from an S2000 in this. That is so cool. All right, so I got a little bit more information on the car. I was talking to the owner of the workshop and this car, and they actually took the shell off an S2000 and had the whole chassis in the frame, and you can see here in this booklet, and then they sat the shell of the 240Z on top of it. So the actual chassis and everything is from an S2K. And that's why, like, they've been able to, like in the engine bay here, I was like, what's going on here? Because I don't remember the 240Z having this cross member here and the ABS and the booster and everything. And it makes total sense. And over here, we've got another 240Z running an L28 that's been stroked out to 3,000 cc, so 3 liters, running triple carbs, nice headers, kind of raced out kind of interior as well in this one. All kind of stripped out the way I like them. But yeah, it's just, I'm so blown away with this S2K swapped car. Like, the amount of effort he went into that to sit that on top of the chassis and everything is just insane. All right, let's keep walking around and see what else we can find here. So this is really cool. I'm not entirely sure the history of the Silvia, but this could have been the very first one they brought out because it's labeled as the new Silvia. Tell me in the comment section if any of you guys know any information about this, because it looks super cool. Has here new Silvia, and it's really cool. I wonder if this was the very first one that they manufactured and released, because it would kind of make a bit of sense, because it kind of almost looks like a hatchback, kind of 180 and cross between an S13 almost to me. But anyways, it's really cool to see that. And see, this is what I was talking about. The best thing about this event as well is if you have one of these cars and you need some parts, you can always find them here and buy them. So they've got some R30 headlights here, some of the frame parts and stuff of the Skylines and Datsuns, and the prices are definitely expensive, but it's really actually really fairly priced for how old these parts are and how they're all heritage and stuff like that now. And here's arguably one of my favorite R32 GTRs, the Celsonic GTR. So even got the signatures here with a bit of, I don't know, like clear coat kind of bra on that. It's so cool to see this car in person every time. So this is super cool. They've got this really old Toyota 800 here, and then they've put next to it the 86, the latest one. And just kind of like a cool comparison, like looking in this engine bay, I have no idea what engine that is. It looks so tiny. But it's really cool, like looking at the accelerator lines and how all that worked with the twin carbs on either side. And it's such a cool, yeah, you go, Toyota Sports 800. Such a tiny little cool car. All right, so we're at the Mazda booth now, and they've got the Cosmo here on display as well, of the Lucy. I think that's how it's pronounced, or the Luce. It's so cool seeing these Cosmos up close. Such a rad design. And the interior in this is obviously show worthy. It's just incredible. So clean, I don't think this thing's ever been outside. They've also got what I would arguably say the cleanest MX-5s I've ever seen. It literally looks like it's just come straight off the factory. Everything is just so immaculate in there. Not a single bit of dust. The interior is still pretty much brand new. So cool. And they got another green one over here as well. But it's so good to just see these cars and what they look like in their original condition. We've got a whole bunch of the Mary Skylines here, which is good to see them all in a line like this. I really like these cars, as well as the one that Koshikubi built in Goto, Nagasaki, the RB26. Such a kind of nice box, aggressive looking front end for that age of car. I love these old Celicas. Seriously, the coolest little cars. He's running a 4Age in that as well. Such a cool little, I think it's a TA. I'm not entirely sure on the model number, but I know it's one of those old Celicas. A TA something maybe. I don't want to get the model number wrong. More S30s and 240s all in a line here, all with pretty much a very similar engine setup, all running the trumpets and the twin cam heads and stuff from OS Gaiken. Super cool with those headers and whatnot. There's another one here. Another really nice Yokosuka on display. This one's running the twin cam L series motor. Immaculate condition. This is a 2JZ swapped in it. That's really cool. If you don't know, this is the 3000 GT, and it's running a 2JZ NA ITVs. That is really cool. Babe, they put a 2JZ in this.
Yeah.
I appreciate that because that's a motor that actually suits this, a Toyota motor. Those headers look awesome too. So good. This is a crime in my books, right? Put a V8 in one of these. But I still appreciate the amount of work they put into this. It's still really cool. And then this one, RB26 swapped. It's running a HKS T04Z. Looks amazing. Such a nice car. And the interior on it looks incredible as well. It's all kind of raced out in the rear here, running a fuel cell. Looks really cool. Whole bunch of aftermarket parts for them as well. Carbon fiber, drive shafts, and a whole bunch of camber plates and things like that. So good to see people still manufacturing like new aftermarket parts for these cars. Babe, where's the engine? Oh, see, she's smart. She knows where to go. I thought I'd trick her then. It is in the rear. Damn, those headers look nice. So as a kid, I always dreamed of actually owning one of these. And it's a Celica ST165 all-wheel drive, and it has a 3S GTE motor in it. Really fast, zippy car, super reliable. And they were just way out of my price range when I got my license, obviously. And my parents didn't want me getting a turbo car at that age because they thought I was gonna, go crazy fast and kill myself, which I probably would have. So good on your parents. I ended up just buying N13 Pulsars and putting CA18 DETs in them anyways. But anyways, it's so good to see one of these on display and in factory condition as well. Exactly how they rolled off the factory floor. Over here we've got the DR30 Skyline, one of my favorites as well. I just love how aggressive the body shape is and everything. And these are running the FJ20 turbo, so the 4-cylinder. I like what they've done with the interior. It's very original and still in really good condition. The seats have been redone, obviously. But everything else about the car just looks awesome. Mate-chan, this is the car I want to buy you. It's called a Cappuccino. Yada? Why don't you like this car? Isn't it cute? Little tiny 3-cylinder turbo. Oh wow, they painted the engine bay on the bonnet as well. Looks cool. This is seriously one really cool S13. Obviously he's running a CA18. He's made a custom intake manifold. He's running a nice Greddy top mount turbo kit. And everything about the car, the actual owner of this workshop, he's really young. He's only 22. And the attention to detail that he's gone in building this thing, like he's using hard vacuum lines and stuff for the wastegate and all of that. And he's obviously got a bonnet dump here. The thing is super cool. And he does a lot of time attack. I was talking to him earlier and finding out a whole bunch of information about his car. He's running a Helltech ECU. Thank you very much. He's running a Helltech ECU. The thing is just immaculate in here. It's such a nice race car. He's even got the Helltech dash. He's running electric power steering because he took the power steering obviously off the car, and like all the hard lines for the fuel and everything coming through here. Super cool. Close that. If you look around the rear, the paint job as well is really nice. And I'll show you the steering column. It's got the electric motor there for the assisting of power steering as well. With these little CAs, you want to squeeze out as much horsepower as you can, so you don't want to run a power steering pump. So he's just got the alternator and the water pump on there. He doesn't have a booster as well, which is really cool, which is okay in these light cars and things like that. It's not too hard to smash the brakes on. He's running Willwood brakes, but this thing's running 500 horsepower out of a little CA. He hasn't stroked it or anything like that. Awesome. Cool race car. Got some more Yokosukas here, and these ones obviously, these were actually at, if you remember the Nismo Festival, they had these cars here were racing on track at Fuji Speedway, and it was really cool to see them on track. Sounds super cool. A few other cars that I want to show you that are over here at R31 House's booth. So these guys are super famous for building these exhaust manifolds here for the turbo, and they come up and kind of flare up and then go back down to the turbo, and they make a really cool sound. And a lot of people actually are hunting for these. When I get a lot of customers emailing me asking me to find them these, and they actually still make them brand new, so you still can get them, but they're quite pricey. Just for the turbo exhaust manifold, it's around I think it's like $1,300 Australian or $1,300 US. And this is really cool. This is an RB20 NA. Obviously the massive headers. They're running ITBs, and they've got what looks like a billet. Yeah, that's like a billet adapter plate that's going to some other type of intake manifold for the they're individual carbs, it looks like. Yeah, they're carbs. Wow. So I might actually try and see if I can talk to one of them and find out what that was initially for, because you can see two adapter plates there that are adapting it to whatever standard that this intake manifold is with the individual carburetors. That's really cool. Oh, this is cool. Look at he's got a nice little oil catch can here that's bolted next to the battery in the battery stay, and obviously just turned the battery that way and made it smaller. It's a really cool idea. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about, how the exhaust manifold still puts the turbo kind of in a factory location, but it gives you longer runners, so it gives you extra torque. Really good for an RB20. And that's what this is. This is an RB20. It's not a 25. You can tell because of the rib tops, as well as the intake manifold here. You can see how the water doesn't just, the water intake from the radiator doesn't just start there. It comes down here and comes up there. It's really cool. So these guys were really responsible for, I guess, a lot of the R31s, which is why they're called R31 House, because they were responsible for building all these cool kind of parts and developing those exhaust manifolds for extra torque and stuff, because that's one of the biggest not failures, like the kind of thing that everyone hates the 24 is the low torque. But they make up for that in the high RPM, and obviously you can gain some more torque by extending your runners and headers and things like that. And from here, they've kind of got a couple of repeats of that one car we just looked at. Very similar setups, just different kind of painted cars and things like that. And they've also got the R31 wagons here. It's really cool to look at. And they've got a whole bunch of their parts on display here. So I'm trying to go through everything as quick as I can. And this one's really cool because this is an RB20. And he's got a special adapter plate in there to put on the RB26 intake manifold and individual throttle bodies, which is very similar to the adapter plate that I developed as well through Ataka Garage, running another one of their exhaust manifolds there with the turbo. Really cool. And this water washer bottle, I wonder what car that's off and how they've adapted that to fit. That's kind of cool. And then moving over here, this is a wagon. We saw this at Auto Salon, and it's another 20 individual throttle bodies, funnels and everything like that. So it's really cool to see that. And that's running one of those big adapter plates there as well, that thick one. And that is a 26. Yeah, that is an RB26 throttle body system there. And they've had to change where the water comes in there so that it doesn't interfere with anything. Running again their NA headers, which give you more torque as well. Over here is their race spec, I guess as you would call it, kind of R31. I'm not sure if they use this for drifting or time attack, although the way that the front's cambered, I'm going to assume they might be using this for drifting. Looks like he's running a very similar intake manifold to something that you see from Hypertune. Electronic throttle body. It's a 26. This is an actual 26 motor. You can tell there's no adapter plate there. They're running an electric water pump as well. You can see that the factory water pump's just got a plate there, and they're running the piping out to the back. So this is probably going to have a rear-mounted radiator. Running a nice big GTX, what looks like a 3076R with a 0.1 housing on the rear. Really cool. Intercooler's all nicely tucked up and in there. Looks like that's the power steering cooler. An oil cooler there. Let's see if we can find where this radiator's hiding. Oh, the interior looks amazing. Hydro handbrake. Looks like they are running a sequential gearbox as well. Yeah, this is totally being used for a drift car. Running Motec ECU. Here's the radiator. Here's where it's hiding. Damn, look at that fuel system as well. Super clean. This is a really cool car. Need to see if I can do some research on this and find any videos of it driving on track. Really cool. This is pretty much what R31 House does. As the name, it's a place where you go for your R31s, R30 Skylines. And they do a really good job of making aftermarket parts that are brand new, essentially, that bolt onto it and let you do cool things, as you could see with what they were doing with the RBs and things like that. Check out this FC RX-7. Crazy wide body though. These over fenders are huge. It's really cool. That's how wide it is. There's like a 50 mil just from the door line there out. Really cool. Super nice race interior as well. I wonder what what motor's under there. There's any information cards or anything like that. There's a bar going across here. I wonder if that's his strut brace. It's huge. Super cool. Got another RX-7 FD, RX-7 FC here as well. And just look at this engine bay. It's rolling off the factory condition. So clean. It's running a Koyo Rad. Another one there. And this looks like an FC convertible. I think this is like, I've never seen one of these before. That's really cool. There's a Defi booth here and they're all showing all their Defi gauges and stuff like that. Got a few of the 2000 GTs here on display. And got one in a body that they're restoring as well. There's another really nice clean white one over here. Get a quick look at it. Really nice 32 GTR here, running the T51 HKS turbo and a Hypertune intake manifold. Super nice built 26. And another one here as well. Really nice. Once again, T51 HKS turbo. The one that we all love the sound of. The big toot kind of fluttery turbo. Such a good turbo. Steve POV getting mobbed. Catch you later, man.
Look what we got, guys. Meet there. It says the strongest, best Skyline.
It's meant to go on Hokoskas and things like that.
But we'll put it on our R33.4. Hee hee hee.
So this is really cool, but this is a cog gear timing system for the L series engine. And this is it all here. It's super cool. And this cutaway, they've cut the block like right here and made it short so that you can see how it all works. But it's really interesting because it's literally just a whole bunch of cog gears instead of using a chain or a belt, I guess. I'm not sure what they normally use in the L series engine, but that's just really different and cool. And over in this section of the hall is where you can go and buy a whole bunch of collectible items and car parts and things like that. For example, they've got a whole bunch of like Star Sharks and remade Longchamps and stuff over here. And wheels you can get. And then there's all these collectible little cars and tools and parts. It's really cool. It's kind of like the bargain kind of like market. It's really cool. It's kind of like going to the markets in Australia and all these old school collectible kind of cars. Like some of these ones here are like over $300 just for some of these that have just been unopened and someone's collected them for a very long time. Yeah. There are seriously thousands and thousands of all these collectible little cars everywhere. Everywhere. Who makes these? What's the brand of these?
Tomica.
Tomica. Little Tomicas?
Of course it's Tomica.
Everywhere. There's a random person there. It's really cool. If you guys can hear right now, the song that's playing over the PA system is actually the "We would like you to politely leave the venue, it is closing" song. So we'll have to leave soon, unfortunately. These like models are actually pretty expensive. 25,000 yen. So that's like what? Like $280 Australian and maybe like $250 US. But still, it's all good. That's a really cool model. So I splurged a little bit and found some really cool kind of factory options. This is for the 34, the 33 Skyline, the Silvia S14, and then the 180SX. So really cool kind of books to go through. All right, well, we're gonna head See if we can hang out with Alexi tonight, but otherwise I'm pretty wrecked and I need to probably try and get a couple hours of sleep before work tonight. So we're gonna see how we go there. Okay, so I just got home and there's this awesome package sitting here from Link. All these goodies that I need for my car. That's the accessories loom. I think that's a intake air temperature sensor. And this will be the Lambda, O2 sensor kit and everything like that. So here's everything I got from Link, and I just want to take a moment to say a big thank you to Link. They sponsored me with this, so this is absolutely awesome. I can't wait to get this installed on the 33.4, and we're going to be going through and doing a little bit of a tuning series and adventuring onto that. Now, I am going to be working with Oka-chan on this because obviously I've never tuned a car before. I've been doing a whole bunch of studying and things like that, and doing a whole bunch of the training classes through HP Academy. But Oka-chan's obviously the tuning master, so I'm going to get him to we're going to go through it together, and we're going to do this awesome kind of video series of us tuning the car and showing you guys why we do certain things this way and that way, and just explaining and breaking it down, because it's something I'm really passionate about. Is tuning isn't this voodoo black magic thing that only a certain few people can do. It's science. Everyone can do it. So we're going to be doing that. See if I can pop this box open. And this here is actually the brain. How this works is, normally with the Link plug and play ECUs, is you get your factory ECU, take out the motherboard and everything, and slide this one in. The main difference is that obviously you can tune this one, plug a USB cable into it, and all of that jazz. Yeah, it's actually kind of handy because some places in the world they don't, like, it's illegal to have aftermarket ECUs. So I kind of like this because it keeps the factory look and stuff like that. But another thing I did just want to add was, as you guys know, my friend Ben, who runs Initiate Car Control and the drifting racing simulators, he had a part in getting this whole sponsorship deal for me. So I do want to say a big thank you to him as well. And I'm really excited about not only working in the future to promote Link's products, but also his products and services that he'll be doing in the future as well. So big thank you again to those guys. And with that, we're going to wrap up the video. All right, so today was absolutely awesome. I had the best time showing you guys around the nostalgic 2 days event. And it's always such a good time going there. Like last year I went there, I was literally like a kid in a candy store. And this year, same thing. And it never gets old. Like I've seen a lot of those cars there before. There was definitely a lot of new ones. But it was just so good to see it all again. I mean, kind of one downside to it is that it can be a little bit depressing because everything's kind of out of your price range and you've realized you've missed the boat and you were maybe born in the wrong era and things like that. But nonetheless, it's still really good to look at, and who knows, maybe one day I'll become a millionaire and I'll be able to afford buying a couple of those cars just to keep in like a storage shed somewhere and drive around on a Sunday kind of thing, right? But anyways, it was a super fun day. I did end up catching up with Alexi in the end, so that was good. Got to hang out with him a bit. And meeting Steve POV again, that was good as well. Got to chat with him and stuff, and it's really good to like hang out with other YouTubers and things like that, and just kind of like, you know, bounce ideas off each other and get some advice from some of those guys that are up in like the couple 100K sub mark. But anyways, guys, I'm rambling on now. I've got to actually leave in like 5 minutes to catch my bus to then head into work. So thanks heaps for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Ja, mata ne.